I've been gone a long time, but now I'm back.
Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
Canada be damned. I'm going to the Klondike.
The Klondike is Canada.
Giorgio, you be doing just fine, brother.
In all likelihood, I'm sure it's safe to say that you don't know me. Even if you do watch my videos and are a returning subscriber, you still probably don't know me personally. Nevertheless, I'm willing to bet that you know somebody like me. A guy who was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, and has developed an insatiable appetite for films along the way. I'm of a generation of male cinephiles who were so bewitched by directors like Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino in their youth, you'd think they swore a blood oath their allegiance runs so deep. Yet say what you will about Christopher Nolan, I'm not as crazy about Quentin Tarantino as many of my generational counterparts are. If you're part of that group, you may feel triggered and
I realize passions are high.
And you may be on the brink of turning this off or blasting me in the comments.
Last chance, fancy pants.
But I implore you to stay because it's not that I dislike Tarantino films, but that I'm only crazy about half of Tarantino's films.
Still, having said that, I feel guilty.
I won't go through Tarantino's entire filmography, listing which I like and which I don't, other than to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Django Unchained are tied for my absolute favorite. The latter takes place in the latter part of the 1800s, where slavery was still very much the way of life for much of the United States. We're introduced to Dr. King Schultz, played by Christoph Waltz.
I'm Dr. King Schultz, this is my horse Fritz.
Who's in search of a particular slave played by Jamie Foxx.
What's your name?
Django.
Then you're exactly the one I'm looking for.
Schultz is a bounty hunter, and upon freeing Django, the good doctor takes Django under his wing to become a skilled bounty hunter and an even more skillful gunslinger.
That's accurate.
Feeling a certain affinity towards Django and learning about his enslaved wife, Broomhilda, played by Kerry Washington, Schultz devises a plan to help Django get what he's after.
How'd you like to partner up for the winter?
What you mean, partner?
You work with me through the winter till the snow melts. And when the snow melts, I'll take you to Greenville myself, and we'll find where they sent your wife.
And what follows is a trip into the lion's den where everyone is passionate about maintaining the status quo.
Oh, now you were one lucky.
You better listen to your boss, white boy.
Oh, I'm gonna go walking in the moonlight with you.
You wanna hold my hand?
Django Unchained very much deserves the credit it's received, what with its beautiful captured vistas, Tarantino's trademark musical choices, and its characters' unique costume designs.
You mean you want to dress like that?
But there's one particular thing about Django Unchained which I feel rarely gets mentioned, yet is also apparent to me to the point it vexes me. That thing is the main character, and what we do and don't know about him. For the first half hour of the film, there's a big question mark around who Django is, because for the character, there's no definitive answer as to where he's going. There's much uncertainty for Django's future, and during this time he more or less simply goes with the flow. As the film progresses, we get an idea of who Django is, or was, through flashbacks of extreme circumstances during his slave days. And we get an idea of who Django can become as a character under King's bounty hunting ruse. Yet none of these answer the question of who Django is when he's not playing to someone else's tune. This uncertainty of who Django is in the first act has always puzzled me, because it makes the character development difficult to pin down. No doubt, Schultz had a big role to play in transforming Django into the deadly bounty hunter he became, but it doesn't speak to Django's personality or character. Who was Django Freeman prior to Django Unchained? Was he always the ambitious man with a salty tongue who wasn't permitted to be his true self given the circumstances? Or did Django evolve into this new version under the mentorship of Schultz, and that is the character development? One illustrates a notable character development, whereas the other simply showcases a character unchained, free to be himself. It's not exactly clear, and having Django play a character within a character only muddies the waters even more.
This is my world. And in my world, you gotta get dirty. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting dirty.
Regardless of which it is, it's undeniable that Django Unchained is an illustration of black excellence and righteousness.
You're so righteous.
This is also true.
Okay, that's Black Dynamite, but nevertheless, the same does apply. And although we may never get the answer of who Django is through a prequel or the cancelled Django Zorro sequel, let's be grateful for what is certain, that Django Unchained is one good movie.